All right, we're live. All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Happy Friday. We need to see you a little bit more, Dede. There you go. We got to see your beautiful face. It's so awkward with the Instagram because it's like vertical. And then, anyway, we'll make it work.
We'll sit on your lap.
That would be funny. Just sit right here. Hey,
Yep.
you doing that? Good morning. It's Billy Parrott, Billy of B-Town. We are here for our second coffee chat this week. It's crazy. I don't do any for months, and then we're just going to do 2 in a
How
week.
lucky are you guys?
So lucky. You guys are so lucky because we have Dede Stoner here with us with her mortgage update. She's with Guild Mortgage, and she's always a wealth of knowledge, and she'll just give it to you straight, no fluff. So I'm excited to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. These are always so much fun because it really makes me, knowing that these are coming up, it really makes me take a look at, okay, what would be important to talk about?
Right.
What do people want to hear?
People want to know.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
And if you have a question that's just, really tearing you apart, please
Yep.
comment.
Mhm.
Questions, we're going to ask or answer questions today as well. Thank you again for we got ice. Did you get the same thing I got?
Nope, yours is a cold brew, mine is an
Okay.
Americano.
Got cold brew and Americano from
Grit and grind.
This is really good, actually.
It's literally the best flavored espresso in the whole world. I never understood why people bought coffee multiple times a week. Now
you understand.
I come up with excuses. I'll buy the office coffee just so that I can get a coffee because then it doesn't count. I'm buying it for everybody else, right?
Yeah. You do that. It's a write-off. It's a write-off.
And she has amazing energy drinks. She uses Red
Lotus.
Bull. Yes, the Lotus drinks.
I love Lotus.
Yes, I don't know what it is. They're so yummy. So
They don't have that weird aftertaste.
They
like Red
don't.
Bull does.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, I love Lotus.
Yeah, it's so good. And I don't mind a Red Bull every now and then, but there's
Yeah.
just something different about the Lotus.
It's so good.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
good.
super good. She's on 24th and Broadwater in the little kiosk right, where India Grill is, and she's just right up in the parking lot.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
awesome. Love it. Yeah, this actually tastes like coffee.
It does. It doesn't have the bitter. It doesn't have the gasoline flavor.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the burn. It's just such a good flavor.
It's so good.
Mhm.
It's so good. So shout out to
Yeah.
Great Friend. All right. So Dede, before we dive into
Okay.
the rates and the numbers and all that jazz,
Yes.
how did you end up in the mortgage industry?
Oh, that is such a fun question.
How much time you got?
Exactly. So oddly enough, this is really weird, and I don't know why. I've always been a numbers person. I am a numbers nerd, and I just always knew I would end up in some sort of loan officer position, but I didn't really know what that meant when I was younger.
Yeah.
And so I started in banking at the age of 19.
Jeez, Louise.
Yeah. So the sheriff's building doesn't even exist downtown anymore. I think that was First Security Bank.
Wow.
And then it turned into the sheriff's building. It was the round one. And then I think they demolished it and it's something else.
Oh,
There's
okay.
something else there now. So that was kind of my start into the banking world. And I ended up going to college in my 20s to get a finance degree. And not that I needed that, and you don't need that to do what I do, but what it gave me is just an understanding of how economics impacts mortgage rates.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I finished college. I was working for First Citizens Bank at the time, and I thought, I'm going to get into a credit analyst position. Again, didn't really know what that meant. It just sounded like something that I wanted to do. They didn't have a position open. So they said, well, you can go run the county market branch. And I didn't just spend 4 years of college to go run the grocery store bank office. So I went to Wells Fargo Operations Center, and that's where I met my friend Jody Hannick. And she was the boss of the department that I worked in. Well, she ended up going to Intermountain Mortgage later.
Okay.
And so I think it was in 2005, she got me a job as a processor at Intermountain Mortgage.
Wow.
Yeah, they took a chance on me and I was really excited. And so my brain just needs the challenge of problems to solve. And so I worked from processing into underwriting so that I could analyze the files.
Mhm.
And so I probably spent about a year in underwriting. And in 2008, April of 2008 is when I decided to jump into lending.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was when, the industry was kind of starting to have their issues.
Yes.
And while
that was
Montana was extremely protected, there still was,
Oh,
it was
yeah,
still
we
very
still-
quiet. Plus I was a brand new salesperson. I have no idea how to sell. I still don't know how to sell. And I have the background knowledge, and that's what
Yeah.
I had to work with. So that year was literally, I made the least amount of money. And I have to back up too. I always thought, oh, I would just be in some salaried position.
Mhm.
It never occurred to me that I would take the risk of getting into a commission position.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me that in my early 20s, I'm like, are you crazy?
Mhm. I think that's what a lot of people don't realize
Mhm.
is that it is more commission.
And it is. And it was tough. I worked a second job for something just popped up on my Facebook page of memory when I officially quit that second job, and it was 2011.
Wow.
So it took me a little over 3 years to get my business up and going enough that I didn't have to work a second job.
It's very similar to real estate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I just had to learn how to manage money,
Mhm.
manage and spend
Right.
money, because you can have good months and then you can have terrible
It's
months.
like, woo,
Exactly. Yeah.
like a
So you
roller
just
coaster.
learn how to navigate through those
Yeah.
periods. So yeah,
That's awesome.
2008. So I'm starting on my 16th year.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
Well, I
2008 to
think
26.
because I just celebrated 16 years in real estate, and I started in 09, so maybe
Oh,
17?
17?
17?
18th.
I don't know.
8,
Long time.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
Maybe
15,
my math is
16,
off.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 19th.
19.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
Yep.
So does that mean mine was 18?
Yeah.
What? No way.
I know, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. And I always think, God, I always feel like I've seen everything. And then something
else comes up. Yeah.
just drops me to my knees. I'm like, what in the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Example. Or can you share?
I'm writing a book one day.
You're going to write a book one day. Look out for the book.
Do you see yourself in this book?
I'm not naming names, but you know who you are. That's awesome. I love it.
But it's a constant challenge, which is what my brain needs. And
Yeah.
I'm a fixer.
Yeah.
Ultimately, when it comes down to it, I'm a fixer. So
Mhm.
you're bringing me your challenge. I want to get into a home.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm going through divorce and I want to keep the home. How do we do that?
Right.
Or I want to use the equity in my home to buy something different. How do we do that?
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
Yep.
And that's one thing, like Dede's one of my referral partners, and I always say, like, out of the box thinking, like
Mhm.
somehow you're going to try to make it work.
Mhm.
I mean, you probably can't all the time, but
Right.
most of the time you figure it out creatively, right?
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah. And we just have a lot more, just even in the last 6 months, non-traditional financing options that we've brought on.
Mhm.
So I would like to believe that that's going to open the door
Yeah.
for some more non-traditional financing for those that don't quite fit in the box.
Right.
Now that type of financing does have, it is going to require a bigger down payment. It is going to have a little bit higher interest rate because it is a higher risk type of loan.
Yeah.
But if it's a way we can get you into that home,
Yeah.
then we're going to look
Absolutely.
at that.
Yeah. What's like the biggest goal for you?
Yep.
Get in that house.
Mm-hmm.
So other than like the commission versus salary, what's another thing most people, whoops, just dropped my mic. What's the one thing most people would be surprised to know about your job? Anything else that would like be like, oh, I didn't know that.
It truly is an all-encompassing position,
Mhm.
and it really is what you make it
Mhm.
as well. If you don't put a lot into it, let's say, and I don't say it like this to be demeaning or anything, but if we just sit behind the desk and we're not out letting people know who we are, what we offer,
Yeah.
what we can do, then the business level is going to be a lot different than those who, a lot of you don't. I have a strong social media presence with my business.
You are doing amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes.
I work hard with my Popeye gifts and thank you cards, and just always making people, I would like to make people feel appreciated.
Yeah, you're good at
doing
staying connected
Yes.
and stuff. I'm
Yep.
just going to move this a little bit so you
So
can see more.
it is very all encompassing.
Yeah.
Luckily, I don't have kids.
Yeah.
My boyfriend and I were just talking about this because it takes up 95% of my time.
Oh.
And I'm
Yeah.
very grateful for that because I worked really hard to try to build business. I have a terrible fear of failure.
Mhm.
And so I'm just always working as hard as I can to try and be and do everything for everybody. And so it really can take up a lot of your time. So I don't understand. There's some wonderful top producers out there all over the country that I'm connected with, and they have families and they have lives outside of
You're
work.
like, how
And I'm
are you
like, how do
doing
we do this?
What is your secret
Exactly.
sauce?
So it is, and depending on your level of connection that you have with people, you get personally involved.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, every single transaction, whether the clients are pleasant or they're not, and sometimes they're not very pleasant clients, but you still do the best that you can to get them to the finish line,
right,
regardless of their.
And then you get them to the finish line and there's no thank you.
Yeah, that too. Yep, I did have that recently as well.
And you're like, well,
it's just, so it's a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Rewarding. And I don't like to, it seems like such an overused word, but knowing that you're helping somebody get into a home, and I'm a huge advocate for home ownership.
Oh, absolutely.
Huge. If we can get you into a property that's your own, that's such a wonderful sense of accomplishment and feeling. And so many people that I help, they say, oh, I never thought that this could be a reality. And they're so surprised, and when we get them to the finish line, and they're just so excited because they own their own home.
Yeah.
Now, everything else in their life might be chaos, but they have a piece that they can control. This is
they
theirs.
can have the chaos in their own house.
Exactly. Yep.
Instead of a rented house.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I
So
love that.
it's definitely, I think I'm a little nervous for our industry because we don't have a lot of younger loan officers.
What do you think that is?
I don't know if it's there is a barrier to entry. And if you go and work for a mortgage company or mortgage broker, depending on that person and also the company, they may take you on as a newbie, but you have to be willing to learn.
Yeah.
And I've done that a couple of times, and the willingness to learn wasn't there.
Right.
And I believed in the person more than they believed in themselves.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
And so that's such a fault of mine as well, because I'm like, I know you can do this. I believe in you. And so it definitely, it takes someone who is driven. Because I don't know that at the banks and credit unions, I don't know what their capacity for taking on brand new lenders is without any experience.
Right.
So it's just kind of finding that right fit.
Yeah.
Because I've had people come to me and talk to me, but it wasn't the right time. And sometimes you can just tell when you're talking with somebody if they're going to have that drive to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's a fast and furious industry. It is. You get a call. Last night I was talking with clients at 9:00.
Oh,
last
girl.
night, and it needed to happen. That was just a discussion that needed to happen. It interferes with your personal life, family life, etc. So somebody really needs to be able to understand that and have the support to back that up.
It's not a 9 to 5.
It is absolutely not a 9 to 5.
It's not a 9 to
promise
5.
If you work in some institutions, I feel like banks and credit unions are more 9 to 5 with that. I do think there's a few lenders that work within the banking system that do work outside of those hours, but for the most part, I feel like it's a very much a 9 to 5 type of working atmosphere. Whereas if you're working for a mortgage company or mortgage broker, we are not 9 to 5.
Yeah. Oh, I know that you and I have had some conversations after 7 o'clock.
Yep.
About some issues. So.
Yeah, because people's lives aren't 9 to 5.
No.
Most people are working during the day and they're able to handle their house stuff in the evenings or on the weekends. And so if somebody's not there to be able to help that.
Oh yeah, and if you're, out looking at homes on a Saturday and you're like, I have a question, it's nice to have someone to, be able to get a hold of.
Correct.
So, that's awesome. So what is the biggest shift that you're seeing in lending right now?
I would say the biggest shift is, let's see, that's kind of a tough one. More products being offered.
Do you feel like it's kind of too much, or do you think it's a good thing?
I think it's a good thing. It's a lot all at once. So it's until we have a client that fits into one of those non-traditional programs, it's hard to speak intelligently. Yeah, I can look at the guidelines, I can look at the cliff notes of it, but until I actually have a file that I can dig in and get the experience with it, it's hard to say, you know, it's not black and white. Non-traditional financing is not black and white. And so I think that it's a great thing that door has been open, because for so long, if you didn't check these boxes, and it comes in especially with self-employment or rental properties, that's where the biggest gap is with that. So there's a lot more options available now for that, but with those options does come, you need a higher down payment. You're probably going to have a little bit higher interest rate on that. And I'm also seeing a shift. People are interested in buying. People were asking me last year how the market was, and everybody's expecting me to say that it's crashing, that it's terrible, and it's not. We had one of our biggest years last year, and so I think people they want to buy a house, and it's okay if it's not the right time. It's okay if there's something specific that you need to have happen. That's okay. But I think the rhetoric of the housing market's crashing.
And why do people want it to crash? Like, what? Like, was it you that I shared that Facebook thing with? The guy was like, well, I hope it crashes. And this. I'm like, dude, you realize that if it crashes, that affects your property.
Yes, absolutely. So everybody who owns a home now, they're now negatively impacted. And it's not just about the housing. So if housing is crashing, that means people are losing jobs. You're losing, I mean, the whole economic sphere is not doing well. And so everybody is impacted negatively. And I just think it's just so self-serving to think, oh, well, I want the housing market to crash so I can get a house for $180,000. I don't care that everybody else just lost their retirement. They lost their jobs. They're now upside down in their home, but I got a house for 180. And so that's, I have a really hard time with that thought.
Someone's getting a house for 180,000.
I know, right?
Wow.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
So I really like the buyers that are new. All they know is after COVID. You know, they don't have that pre-COVID experience. And I get that. It's hard to not go back to that. But there's so many things too. Cars. The price of cars is insane to me.
It's very insane.
And I will be so mad if I ever have to buy a new car.
I know,
bought mine in 18.
I'm going to keep my Jeep forever until it dies.
I just look at payments. Just last week alone, the amount of credit reports that I pulled that had $1,200 car payments, I'm like, oh my God, that's a paycheck.
$1,200?
Yes, one family had over $3,000 a month in car payments on their credit report. I'm like,
what kind of cars were they?
I have no idea. The credit report doesn't tell me. But yeah, it's just insane. So
and it depreciates.
It does.
As soon as it's off that lot, it depreciates. That's crazy.
Yeah. So that's another thing that, you know, the prices have gone up so much on, but you never hear anybody talk about it.
No.
It's just stuff on the housing. And I get it. The price that just is so different than what we were used to. But I don't see things changing.
No, it's just going to continue to go up, I think. It's just more at a steady rate than it was before, which I'm glad for. So I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah.
The leveling off is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Because it just allows all parties to get into the position that they're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Instead of being forced to rush into a decision or decide something they normally wouldn't have without being under pressure.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm appreciating this more normalized.
Yes.
Like I actually see buyers getting like, you know, help with closing costs.
Exactly.
Things like that. So
yeah. And that's a huge benefit. And whether you're a first time home buyer or you're a repeat buyer, getting that help with closing costs just means that you're using somebody else's money versus yours. And why not?
Yeah, if you can.
Absolutely, if you can.
Yeah. Are buyers more nervous, more confident, or just confused these days?
I think all of the above, because there's a lot of misinformation out on the internet. I know, big surprise, you can't trust everything you see on the internet. And there's just so much misinformation. When it comes to interest rates, this one drives me crazy the most, but I get it because unless you're in the industry, you just don't get it. And so there's a lot of information out there that's super misleading.
Mhm.
And so I'll get calls from clients, oh, I hear rates
Yeah.
dropped. And I'm like, well, that was last week, and we saw them go down about 1/8%, but these things have happened since that time,
Mhm.
and these reports have come out, and so rates are a little bit back up.
Right.
And there's such a tremendous focus on interest rates, and when I show people the difference between 0.5%, so on a $300,000 loan, 0.5% interest rate makes a difference of $100 a
Yeah.
month.
That's,
And so the focus on the interest rate, I think that we don't have control over anything
no.
with it, and so we pick one thing to be mad at. And so we're mad about the interest rate.
We're mad.
We're mad. I can't do anything till the interest rates go
angry.
down. I'm so mad about the interest rates. And it's so weird that
Yeah.
that's the thing that's
It is.
focused on.
Yeah.
And it really is one of the smallest pieces of the puzzle.
Right.
And when I show the difference, people talk about, oh, I want to buy down. Can we buy down the rate? And so I show them, okay, here's what it costs you to buy down the rate. Here's the minimal difference in the payment.
Yeah.
And it could be $15.
Right. Right.
But it costs thousands of dollars for that 15.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh.
Yeah.
And so then I have that conversation. What is going to be more beneficial to you? Having a payment that's, let's say $60, because this one comes up a lot. $60 is a pretty common payment difference that I see when I'm giving different rate options. So, but it costs thousands of dollars to get that. So I will have the conversation, what's more important? Would you rather have this $5,000 in your bank account, or would you rather have a payment $60 a month less?
Right.
And neither one of them is a wrong answer. It just really depends on what's important to that person.
Right.
And some people, they're just really stuck on that rate, and it doesn't matter how much it costs. They're like, I got that rate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But as long as, we give the information and let them decide.
That's true. That's you provide, they decide.
Yes.
That's a term I use a lot.
Yes. Yeah. And we don't make, and not every place is like this, but we don't make money on rates or fees.
Yeah.
So I don't have a dog in the fight.
Mhm.
I just want people to make the best decision about their finances.
Yeah, and I think that's because I hear that a lot, right? Or they're like, well, I got a quote from this lender, this interest rate. I'm going to go shop around. Well, you're probably going to hear the same thing,
Mhm.
right? Because that doesn't really change a lot. Maybe like your what fees am I trying?
Discount.
Origination fees might
origination
change, those
fees,
kind
yes.
of things.
Mhm.
But yeah, they're charging me too much or interest rates. Like,
Yeah. And that's actually a good point to bring up is I get that question a lot. I'm just checking around to see what I'm getting the best rate.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it comes down to I can tell you whatever rate that you want.
Mhm.
The question you should be asking is, oh, well, what do I have to pay to get that rate? So somebody calls me, I can say, yeah, I can get you a 5.25. What I didn't tell them is that it cost them 6 discount points to get that rate.
Right.
And I actually had that happen with a client. They sent me their estimate, and I'm like, I said, did you know that you're being charged 6 discount points?
And what does that amount look like? Or
With that one, it was like $40-some thousand.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I said, did you question them about this? Is not normal, and I don't even think it's legal to do this.
That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. And so it just, again, the focus on the interest rate without really understanding what goes on behind it I think that people have been taken advantage of and they don't realize it.
Yeah. No, that makes sense to me. So like, what should they be paying attention to then in today's market? Like,
so it's an apples to apples game.
Yeah.
So there's times that people have said, well, I'm getting this interest rate.
Mhm.
Well, it turns out it was an FHA loan
Mhm.
versus the conventional loan.
Sure.
And interest rates are different. FHA predominantly, not always. Recently, I've seen FHA and conventional pretty close
Mhm.
in some situations, but for the most part, FHA is going to be lower than conventional. But on FHA, you're going to have upfront mortgage insurance, plus the monthly mortgage insurance on FHA is higher, and it's permanent unless you have at least 10% down.
Okay.
So there's just so many pieces that go into the puzzle. What type of home is it? What is your credit score? How much do you have down? So there's a lot of pieces that go into an interest rate. It's just not a flat rate for everybody.
Right. I think that's a lot of
all-encompassing.
misconception that people think, because I've had people message me, well, what's the down payment on this? Well, there's a lot of factors to
Right. Yep.
consider.
Exactly.
Talk to Dee Dee.
Yeah.
Ask Dee Dee. She'll know the answers.
Exactly.
I don't ever try to act like I know anything about the lending industry.
And
I give it to the expert.
Exactly.
What's the number one mistake buyers make before calling you?
Finding a home and falling in love with it without knowing what you're pre-approved for.
Yes.
That literally is one of the biggest heartbreaks.
Yeah.
And it's terrible for everybody involved because we have sellers who are leaving their home so that they can be shown, thinking that they're getting a buyer, and then we find out that we can't move forward on their home because they're not approved for it.
Right.
So that truly is the biggest thing, and it's probably predominantly one of the first things out of people's mouths when they call me. I found this house, and so my realtor said I should call you about financing. And I was like, oh my gosh. And the reason why it's oh my gosh is, in all honesty, I am a recovering people pleaser.
Yeah.
I hate telling people no.
Yeah.
I want to make this happen for you.
Yeah.
And so when I know that somebody has fallen in love with a house and the numbers don't work,
Right.
and I have to break
that
that,
heart. And then you're the bad guy.
and then I'm the bad guy.
You're the bad guy.
Yes, and I don't want to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm on your side.
Yeah.
I promise I'm on your side.
We're all on your side.
We want you to get in the home.
Right.
But please, how do you even know what to shop for?
Girl, you know this is my biggest pet peeve. Like, why? Okay, I'm gonna speak. There's the camera. Agents out there, stop showing property
Oh my gosh,
until
you
they
guys.
are like, what are we doing?
Yes.
Like, what are we doing?
the last 2 weeks, you guys have been so obnoxious.
Yes.
With going under contract and then finding out, trying to get
And
financing.
that's even worse.
And
Writing a
it's-
contract.
It really creates a problem for many.
Absolutely.
And then I have to say this, and this came up multiple times in the last
Yeah,
few
you were
weeks,
saying this, yes.
that buyers had verbal
Mhm.
approvals.
Mhm.
They didn't actually go through a pre-approval process.
Mhm.
And so they were shopping based upon those verbal approvals, and they weren't approved.
Mhm.
They weren't actually approved for those amounts. And so it creates chaos.
Yes.
Because everybody is already set up. We're going to go
Yeah.
after this house.
Right.
And
Right.
because I was verbally told.
Mhm.
So let's talk about the difference between
Yes. Let's talk about
verbally
it.
told.
Verbally pre-call and pre-approve.
Yes.
What are the differences?
Yep. So I was really surprised because it was multiple lenders who did this. It wasn't one lender who did it for all the same clients. It was multiple lenders across the board. And
Local lenders or out of state?
local and both.
Oh,
Local
wow.
and out of state.
Jeez, you should know better.
So, and I get this call all the time, and I have turned so much business down. I've lost business because I don't do this. I just won't. The integrity of my word is so important to me. People want me to just say, oh, well, I can give you some numbers and you can just give me an idea. And I had that conversation again this week, and I said, I cannot do that.
Yeah.
Because we all have a different interpretation of what our finances look like.
Yes.
Also, everybody's financial picture is different, and there's not a black and white of what you need to have or be or look like to get a loan.
Mm-hmm.
It truly, there's so many factors that go into this. And when I was talking with this person, I said, okay, what are your wages? Well, we make about 95 a year. I said, okay, about, is that under? Is that over?
Yeah.
I don't like the word about.
About, yeah, no.
And then we started talking about monthly payments.
Mhm.
And all we have is a credit card, or all we have is a car loan. Okay, so well, what about credit cards? Oh, I forgot about those. Do you know how
Uh-huh.
many times that comes up?
Uh-huh.
I will have people swear up and down they have no debt. And then I pull a credit report. We've got credit cards, we have personal loans, we have student loans.
Yep.
And we just forget.
Yeah.
You know, we just forget. If they're on auto pay, we forget.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just such an automatic thing. It's just not at our forefront.
Right.
And so when I started, I was trying to explain and asking more questions. He's like, yeah, I see why you need all this information. And then it comes out he didn't even have credit.
Oh,
She's like, and so I said, well, what are your guys' credit scores? Well, I don't even have credit. I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we shopping for homes?
oh Lord.
Oh my gosh. So
Oh.
the last few weeks have just been,
Yeah.
it's just been all at once. So I'm very dramatic about it right now because it's taken up a
Well, you
lot of
see
time
that, like,
in the last 2 weeks.
People will get it. Like,
It just, yeah.
like I will not show a home until I have a pre-approval
Mhm.
letter,
Yes.
and I will even verify it with the lender and
Yes.
say, hey, is there anything I need
Mhm.
to know about this? Because that puts my buyer in a better position, and they're not going to
Absolutely.
hate me
Yes.
or the lender
Right.
if it doesn't, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
And not all pre-approval letters are created equal
No.
because you have pre-qualification
Yeah.
and you have pre-approval. And so again, unless you're in the industry, unless you know the difference,
Mhm.
and I love when listing and buying agents call me and
Yes.
say, is this a pre-qual or is this a pre-approval? I love you.
That is an agent that
For
is
asking
doing
me.
their job.
Yes, I love that you ask me this.
Yeah.
Because there is a difference and it can make a difference in your offer.
Mhm.
I can confidently say this now because I've learned this over the last few years, and I can confidently say this now, that when you guys get my letter, you know
Yeah.
that I've done the work, and you guys know that there's a 99% chance we're not going to run into issues.
Mhm.
Not everybody can say that.
Right.
And so I really protect that piece of my reputation
Mhm.
because we do the hard work. If we just go off of what people tell me,
Like rock. No, I'm not gonna say anything. Like certain lenders.
I use this example in my first time home buyer classes. And I've used it before, and I will use it till the dawn of time until I retire. And I might even teach a class after. But I had a client submit an application with 9,000 a month or 9,500 a month in income. So I get the documentation, and yes, I will not issue a pre-approval letter until we see W-2s, tax returns, bank statements, whatever is applicable to that application, so that I can make sure that we're all we're all seeing things the same.
Mhm.
And so when I was reviewing the documentation, I was coming up with $4,700 a month in income.
That's a big
So
difference.
I just said, is there
What am I
something that
missing?
happened that maybe I don't have documentation for? Because sometimes people get raises and they forget to send me that information,
Mhm.
or they have a new position, etc. So I always give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm probably just missing
Yeah.
a piece of paper or something. And she goes, oh no, I just put that in there to get things going. Do you know the difference of what you're qualified for at $9,000 a month versus $4,700?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you
difference.
were a seller and accepted an offer on my letter
Uh-huh.
that this person was approved, and then after we got their documentation and we had to say, oh no, I'm sorry, we're not approved.
Yeah.
And that's why that happens, because I love when you guys call me and you're like, hey, this fell apart at this lender, can you take a look at this for me? I love getting those calls.
Mhm.
And the buyers, they'll be so confused because
Mhm.
we're like, well, I got a letter that told me I was pre-approved.
Yeah.
And that's where we find out that and you can even submit your documents. So I see this a lot with the online lenders,
Mhm.
is they'll ask for the documents, but nobody actually reviews them
Oh.
because they're just call center. They're call center people. They're not all experienced lenders.
Yeah.
So they know what to collect, but they don't know how to read a bank statement. They don't know how to read tax returns. And so yes, that information is sent in,
Yeah.
but it's not reviewed in underwriting until they're under
Oh,
contract.
that's
And then
scary.
that's when the calls are like, this fell apart at this lender, can you take a look at this?
Mhm. Yeah.
Because of that situation. So
I've had that happen in the past.
I love, it's not an insult at all and it doesn't matter if it's a buyer's agent or the listing agent, please call me.
Yeah.
You can call me and verify, and I will tell you, yes, we have worked through all of these details.
Mhm.
Unless something weird pops up that just is a surprise to all of us, these buyers are good to go.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important. And I've been told that my buyer's offer was accepted, even though it wasn't as good as other offers,
Mhm.
because my letter was behind that.
Right. Right.
And that's so humbling to me.
Oh yeah.
oh God.
definitely
And
comes
so-
into play.
Yeah, and so that makes me extra protective
Mhm.
of that
Yeah.
I'm not going to jeopardize the trust that you guys have in us.
Right,
Just to
just to
some-
get them,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Just to get
just to get them a
somebody,
letter.
yeah, or a number. Can you just give me a number? I'm not.
No.
I'm sorry. I can't. 8675309. That's the number.
8675309. Oh God, don't get me started. Okay, so the difference between pre-qual and pre-approval is just basically more information.
Absolutely.
Right,
Mhm.
okay.
Yep.
Okay,
And sending in your documents and the documents being reviewed.
right.
That's an extra layer that we've learned has to be asked about.
So what would you say to those people? They're like, well, I don't want my credit pulled.
Wonderful question. I get that a lot. So we used to be a lot more flexible with the soft pulls.
Mhm.
Credit report prices have skyrocketed.
Really?
Oh my gosh, it's so obnoxious how expensive credit reports
How
are.
much are they?
Ours are $375. The industry normal is 300 plus.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it's insane, and it's not us setting that. We don't make money off of that. It's
And who pays for that?
the buyers.
Okay.
Pay for that. So, and soft pulls are almost as expensive. So
You might as well just pull it.
exactly. So we have the conversation. What is the likelihood that you're going to buy probably in the next 120 days?
Mhm.
So we get through that. People are worried about the impact on the score. Do you know that pulling your credit is a very minimal impact on your score? It is the least impact on the score.
That's a myth then, because that's what a lot of people think.
Yes,
Well, I
they
don't want my
absolutely
credit
do.
being.
It's really interesting that there's more concern about me pulling credit than paying bills on time.
Wow,
And more often than not, when I have somebody super concerned about me pulling credit,
they don't pay their bills.
they
on
don't
time.
pay their bills on time. And that's just the black and white of it. And it's
Right.
so surprising to me because I just think, because then when I see it, I'm like, if you had the same concern about paying your bills on time that
Yeah.
you do about me pulling credit,
Right.
we would be having a different conversation.
Mhm.
But outside of that, pulling credit has a very minimal impact on your score. It's maybe 10 to 15%. And where you might see some impact is if you're having it pulled from a ton of different places. If you're applying for a ton of different loans and unsecured loans and credit cards. And I do see that every once in a while. And that tells a story.
Yeah.
Your credit reports tell us a story. And so what impacts your credit is, what do you have for credit card balances? Ultimately, that is the number one biggest impact.
It's a debt to ratio,
Well,
right?
it's not necessarily a debt to income,
Or
but
debt to
usage.
Yeah.
So the
Oh.
credit bureaus hate seeing high balances on credit cards. And when people open
Which
a
is
new,
interesting.
Mhm.
Sorry, it's interesting because that's how they make the most money, right? Off the interest rates.
absolutely. So the credit card companies make the money.
Yeah.
The credit bureaus
Okay,
judge the risk.
got it.
And so high credit card balances knock the scores way down. Especially if it's a brand new credit card. I see this happen a lot because there's a lot of misinformation about that. Oh, you should go open up a credit card and charge it up and then only make the minimum payment. You're killing your credit
Mhm.
doing that.
Yeah.
So we'll see 50, 60, 100 points knocked down because people are maxing out credit cards.
Right.
Late payments, 50 to 100 points for late payments. And it doesn't
What?
matter if you pay it current, that late is now on your credit report and you're impacted for at least the next year on that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty significant.
That's crazy.
Collections will knock the scores. And it doesn't matter how old those collections are. If they're reporting currently every single month, your score is being held down because of those collections.
Does that include medical bills?
Yeah, medical bills as well.
Okay.
So that initially, and I was so excited, and I made this big post about it because I was so excited that medical bills were supposed to come off of credit reports. Well,
That.
it didn't actually end up happening.
Damn it.
Yeah, and I don't understand the behind the scenes on that,
Why? What did
Yeah,
they change that?
but and yeah, I don't.
Medical is so high.
It is. The medical part is so, and that's the unfair part of it because I've had so many clients that they've been in payment plans with the
Yeah.
hospitals and then all of a sudden they get thrown into collections.
Really?
Yeah. No, like we kept up on our payments. We don't know why
Weird.
this happened. So, and then bills that are sent to collections that should have been paid by Medicaid or Medicare or
Yes.
workman's comp.
Insurance. thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's the medical ones are, we don't require them to be paid off. We don't count a payment for those, but unfortunately they're impacting the credit.
Mhm.
And there's not a way that we can determine, oh, the medical bills are impacting the credit by 20 points, so we're going to add 20 points.
Mhm.
It's impacting the scores.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we got a couple more minutes
Okay.
left. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. Is waiting for rates to drop helping or hurting buyers?
I think,
I think I hear a lot of that. I'm waiting
Mhm.
for the rate to drop.
yep, I definitely think, I believe it's a hurt
Mm-hmm.
because we're only seeing prices go up. Even if it's a minimal increase in price,
Mhm.
that minimal increase in price is going to negate any
Yeah.
Decrease in interest rate. Because remember, 0.5% on 300,000 is $100.
Right.
But if that sales price goes up 20,000, it's about $60 per 10,000.
Yeah.
So for a $20,000 increase in a price, while we're waiting for rates to drop, you just raise your payment $120.
Yep.
So it's not. If it's the right time for you, the interest rate's not going to make the difference.
You shouldn't like hang everything on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if someone bought a house,
Mhm.
a few years ago, even they probably could have got it for 200. Well, now that house is going to be 400 right now.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it's a big impact. So
Mhm.
I think I don't know who would be an expert who would know how to time the market. I don't think even the experts time the
No.
market. They just they're like, all right, this is a transaction that works for me.
Mhm.
I'm going to buy the house right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
Does it work for you at this time?
exactly.
Yes.
Yep. It's that whole when's the right time to buy? When it's right for you.
Exactly. And if it's not right at this time, that's okay.
Yeah.
We can talk about that. We can talk about what would make it right.
Mhm.
And if it truly, well, I need the rates to be at 3%. Well,
you might be waiting for a while.
we might be waiting for a while, but if that's the line in the sand, then that's the line in the
Yeah.
sand. But that's money that's going to rent that could be going to your house.
You have to look at it.
And that's the part that I would like people to see is I want you to put your own money into your own house.
Yeah. It's an investment.
Mhm.
You have to look at it as an investment.
Yep.
Yeah. I was going to ask you one other thing. I just went, whoo. Well, before it comes back to me, I want to thank you for being a sponsor of Beach Blizzard
Oh,
for
you're
Family
welcome.
Promise. I just wanted to give her a shout out.
Thanks.
And you're going to be there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep. Lexi and I will be there, and
Your
then
outfit?
the two gals from. No, it'll be toned down.
It'll be toned down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I might wear sparkles.
Ooh, sparkles.
Yeah, I have a
Okay.
shirt from Apricot Lane that I'll be
Oh.
wearing that has sparkles on it.
I
Yeah,
like that.
and then the two ladies from Apricot Lane will be our guests as well.
Okay, I love that. So thank you again. We
Yes, you're very
appreciate it.
welcome.
We
Thank you.
appreciate you. I was gonna dress up as a lifeguard,
Oh,
and then somebody was
hilarious.
like, "That might be a little too risque." I'm like, "Fine, I'll do it."
Oh, you could totally do a Pamela Anderson.
Oh gosh, a Baywatch.
Baywatch, that's what it is. I could just see the red swimsuits.
I was on Amazon looking them up, and so they're like, "Yeah, that might be a little."
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I'm like, damn it, all right, fine.
Oh,
Because I really wanted to blow the whistle.
did you?
Maybe I'll still take the whistle, and
You can.
if you guys get rowdy,
Mhm.
I can blow that whistle.
Oh, see, that's inside knowledge I'm gonna have.
So look out for the
All right.
whistle.
Okay, look out for the whistle.
Well, any last things that you want to let the people that are watching know today?
Don't let the media scare you. There's just so much. What I find on social media and in the media is all the negative.
Yes.
And
Well, that's how they get the viewership.
it absolutely, yep. It's not as bad as it's like the negative is the loudest,
Mhm.
and the positive people are just doing their lives.
Yeah.
So it's not as bad as what the media may make it sound. If you truly just want to find out what does this look like for me, we'll have a conversation.
Mhm.
And we'll be honest about it. We'll
Yeah.
have the hard conversations. Does this make sense for you financially? Is this going to be a burden for you financially? Do we need to do this and this and this first,
Mhm.
and then put you in a better position for this?
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Is to have those conversations.
Yeah. And don't feel embarrassed. Like
No.
everybody's going through this stuff.
No,
Yeah.
we've seen everything under the sun.
Including
More than likely-
$1,200 car
Including
payment.
$1,200 car payments. Most of us, whoops, I forgot that was there.
Oh, yeah, I know I do it too.
Most of us have been through financial struggles.
Oh,
I can
absolutely.
honestly tell you, it took me 2 lessons of high credit card debt before I learned
Yeah.
the lesson.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Yep.
so we've been there, we get it,
Mhm.
we understand,
Mhm.
but we're not judging.
No.
We're going to have the hard conversation that says, this is what I see, this is
Yep.
what we can do. If you do this, we can get you here.
The reality
Yeah.
of it.
Because we want you to, I want you to be in a home.
We all want you to buy
I
a
want
house.
you to be in a home. Be in your own place.
Yes, that you own, and you can
that
paint it, you can
have
do whatever you
control
want to
of.
it.
You don't have somebody over your,
Yes.
like this.
And the risk though too, like when you're renting, that person could at any point decide, you know what, I'm gonna sell this property, you're
Yes.
out of here.
Yep.
And then what?
And it happens. I get those calls multiple times a year that my landlord decided to sell the house.
Yeah.
And so now I want to see what it looks like to buy.
Yep.
Because rent is expensive as
It's
well.
very expensive.
And buying a home is expensive. So we're going to weigh the options on,
Yeah.
what does that look like?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, once again, thank you so much
Yes.
for giving us a mortgage update, and maybe we'll
Thank
see you
you.
next quarter.
Yes,
Come back
absolutely.
again, 'cause
Yep.
I have so many questions I didn't even
I
get
know.
through today, so. So yeah, so it's always is a pleasure, because
Thank
I
you.
love how like you're just to the point, no
Mhm.
fluff, that's what we need, so thank you so much, Dee.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks guys, have a good
Bye.
weekend.
Have a good
Maybe we'll
weekend.
see you at Beach Blizzard, hopefully.
At the Northern. All night.